everybody, or should I say anybody, as this is the first video I'm doing for the channel. If you haven't worked it out already from the intro, I'm going to be imaging the Running Chicken Nebula, also known as IC2944, which I just type into Stellarium to locate it in the night sky. And here it is, highlighted. It's actually near the Southern Cross, and below that we've got the pointers. So this target is only visible from the southern hemisphere, not the northern hemisphere. If we zoom in here, you can see it's near the Carina Nebula, which is one of the largest and brightest nebula in the sky. And just zoom in a little bit further to have a good look at the running chicken. Now, the area that I'm going to be imaging is around this portion for the focal length of the telescope I'm using. It's an area that I think has the most interest as far as the nebulosity is concerned. And also, if we zoom in a little bit closer, we see the Bock globules, which are the little dark globules of dust, known to be areas of active star formation, but I think in this particular nebula there hasn't been any evidence yet found of star formation occurring in these globules. Back in 2020 I first imaged this target with the William Optics Red Cat 51, which has a focal length of around 250mm, and then subsequently processed it in bicolor. But I'm not sure that anybody has really successfully shown why this is called the Running Chicken Nebula. It's pretty hard to see a chicken, let alone one that's running. However, while processing this, and call me biased because I live in New Zealand, but there looked to be another bird there, which was a running kiwi. Anyway, enough talk about the target, and time to go and get the observatory set up ready for imaging. Okay, so we've got SG Pro up and running. Tonight I'm going to be collecting some hydrogen alpha. I have already collected some hydrogen alpha and oxygen and sulfur subs, so this will just be adding to it tonight. I also have a camera set up, well, a couple of cameras actually, one pointing at the sky and one pointing at the telescope in the observatory, so I can see what's going on when it's slewing to target and making sure it doesn't get any cables caught. I think I've got my cable management pretty good at this stage. If you'll notice, the camera that we're looking through is pointing directly at the back of the imaging camera and the filter wheel, and there are 4 little holes in the filter wheel there where I think you can attach a bigger camera. And what I was finding was that the infrared light that was coming from my observatory camera was getting in through those holes and reflecting off the filter inside the filter wheel and causing a strange pattern on my images, particularly on the oxygen. And it only became apparent when I did my dark frames, and I saw exactly the same pattern on there, so I realized that there was some light leak going on. Anyway, that's been sorted with a bit of black tape over those holes. So I'll just let the thing run through getting itself centered on the target, getting PhD2 up and running. I get it to calibrate each time. I'm not sure if I really need to, but I kind of think it might make it more accurate. I'm not really sure if that's a valid thought, but anyway, and go through the focusing and then come back to it when it's collecting its first frame. Okay, so we've got the first sub of the night coming down, just a few seconds, and hopefully we've got some good detail. Yep, and there it is. That looks pretty good. I think there's some nice nebulosity showing up there in the HA filter. The other thing I'm very keen to know about are how I got round stars. It's pretty hard to tell on low power like this, but yep, they look round, so I'm happy with that. just gotta hope they stay that way for the rest of the night. And these are the Mach globules, and they seem to be showing up quite nicely. So yeah, so far so good. I'll just keep collecting subs, and then process it all and get out a final image.